And hey people, it's Daniel, and I would like to welcome you to my very first grind tutorial. In this video, we will learn together how to learn our very first grinds. Therefore, I picked two of the most simple grinds. In my opinion, the most simple grinds are the frontside grind and the soul grind. And now, we will learn together how to grind by the example of these both grinds. Before we start, you should know every grind is different. They differ in the foot position and in the proper posture as well as in the point of balance. So let's go. We start by learning the front side. First I will tell you the difference between these both grinds. The front side is very easy to aim, but very slippery to grind. The soul grind is more difficult to aim, but not as slippery to grind. So first we will learn the frontside grind, by which we grind with both gates on our grooves between our wheels. For that, the first thing we will do is to use any object for just jumping on our grooves. For the first tries I always recommend a low and less slippery object. And less slippery objects are ordinary unwaxed curbs. Should you already be comfortable with other grinds, maybe you'll also be able to use higher and more slippery objects. However, this is a beginner tutorial and so we will always start practicing by just doing stalls. Good, stand in front of the object and begin to jump on it. Try to land in your grooves. When landing, ensure your toes are pointing straight or nearly straight. Repeat it until you feel comfortable jumping on and off of the object. So, and for every stall we try to bend our knees deeper and deeper, and when landing always pay attention to your feet. Then your skates should not stay directly next to each other. There should be a space between our skates in order to not lose balance on our sides. And for the beginning, a space of about 30 cm should be enough, but use more if needed. As you practice, you will begin to feel how much space works best for you. Just remember, do not put your skates directly next to each other. Should you don't keep a space, you're at a high risk of falling. For practicing, also try to move your feet while standing in a stall. If you feel comfortable, we jump on different types of objects to practice using the right form. We do this to get comfortable on different platforms and heights. And this trains us for different heights and platforms while increasing our jumping ability. And we also learn to soft land in the correct position and feel comfortable doing so. So at this point it's time to learn our first real grind. For this we begin to jump on an object by slow skating. We begin doing that from the side of the object. Then we start trying it with a small turn. And in this way we try to grind a small distance. For the beginning, a few centimeters is enough. Just try to get a feel for it. Then step by step we become faster and faster. And in this way we will grind further and further. If we feel comfortable, we start with the final step. We begin to jump into the grind, but now from the side of the object. And with that I mean our running direction and our grinding direction nearly form one straight line. And by the way, your posture is very important to grind slow or fast. Furthermore, remember, the more the angle of your skates, the safer and faster you're able to grind. And for practice, repeat doing the frontside grind, getting faster and faster. To keep balance, we use our upper part of the body, but our weight should be at the bottom part of our body. And that's the reason why it's much easier by going down on our knees. To improve your frontside grind, try to keep your knees next to each other and also try to look to the direction of movement, as well as maintain the balance point over the edge. Lastly, try to jump off forward as well as to jump off with a spin to land backwards. And remember, the more stable we stand on our grind, the better we can jump off. In the next steps, we will start grinding on as many objects as we can to get a feel for all different substrate and heights. Furthermore, from time to time, we will bend our knees deeper and deeper. Let's take a look at the sole grind I told you in the beginning. The sole grind is also perfect for beginners. As you can see, we are grinding with one skate on the sole blade, and with the other run, the second skate, we grind on the groove from it. And the sole blade is the outer part of your skates, next to the frame. So remember, if you do a sole grind, with the skate in front we grind on the groove, with the skate behind we grind on the sole blade. Just like the frontside grind, we begin by jumping in the correct position. For this we use different objects again and practice accuracy. We also get a feel for landing on different objects and platforms and repeat until you feel comfortable jumping on and off of the object. If it feels comfortable, we start with a distance of a few centimeters to get a feel for it. A feel for grinding in the sole grind. After that we try doing it faster and faster. The angle becomes more steep until we skate and grind in nearly one line. In this way, we automatically become grinding faster and faster. To keep balance, we use our upper part of the body and don't forget to lean more backwards instead of forward. And it's same like the frontside grind. Going down on our knees makes it much easier to grind. And that's value for every grind. So and that's all. Now you know how to learn a new grind. So now we have reached the end of the video. If we feel comfortable with a sole grind and a frontside grind, this provides us with a perfect background for aggressive skating. From this point it's time to practice the grinds we learned. And then we are ready to learn further grinds. And lastly, remember, we are also ready to combine all grinds we learned. That's called switch up. And more grinds you will learn from my aggressive inline trance series. So right now, if you like this video, I would be really grateful if you support my videos and channel. And my passion is to build a great community to support this sport. Well, in my opinion, it's not just a sport, it's a passion. So and now, have a good time. Thank you very much for watching and others. See you at my next video and have fun by doing your first grinds.